All right, everyone, get ready because today we are going international
Oh,
for our deep dive.
oh, cool.
We are going to be checking out a German blog post all about how Google finds and then ranks websites.
Ooh,
It's like
right.
then they try to learn how to speak Google
Yeah,
so that
yeah.
our websites can, get seen.
Right.
It's really interesting, actually, this post. It gets really specific. It
Yeah.
doesn't just stay high level. It's really tactical, which I think is going to be great for our listeners.
Yeah, I think it's going to be really helpful for anyone who feels like their website's kind of lost in the internet void.
Okay, so let's just jump right in.
Yeah.
The post starts off by talking about crawling,
Right.
which sounds a little technical, but I think we all kind of know what that means. It's basically how Google, explores the web.
Exactly. It's how Google gets to know the web. So think of it this way. Imagine Googlebot.
Okay.
That's Google's little explorer. Like a librarian on a mission to catalog every single book in a giant library. That library is the internet, and those books are websites crawling. Is basically how Googlebot finds those books, opens them up, and takes a look inside.
So wait, so just because Google finds my site doesn't mean, I'm good to go?
Well, not so fast. It's more like Googlebot is taking notes on each book, deciding if it's worth adding to the library's catalog.
I see.
There's what we call indexing. So it's like a quality check to make sure that only the most relevant websites get into the search results.
It does feel like a bit of a game.
Oh, it is?
Like you have to play by Google's rules if you want to be seen.
Definitely. And the rules are always changing. That's what I think makes this German blog post so interesting.
Okay.
It helps to explain some of the less obvious parts of crawling and indexing. Like, have you ever heard of crawl budget?
Crawl budget.
Yeah.
I like that. It sounds like Googlebot is working with a limited expense account.
It kind of is. So basically, crawl budget is the number of pages Googlebot will actually crawl on your website
Right.
each time it visits. So you can think of it like Googlebot has a limited amount of time and energy every single day. It has to choose which websites to crawl and how in-depth it's going to explore each one.
Okay, so Googlebot's on a tight schedule.
hmm
How do we make sure our site gets the attention it deserves?
Right. So this blog post has some really cool strategies for optimizing your crawl budget. It's like making sure you're putting your best foot forward when Googlebot comes knocking.
Gotcha.
Things like a clear site structure and a well-organized sitemap can make a big difference.
So we're just trying to make Googlebot's job easier.
Yeah, the easier it is for Googlebot to crawl your site and really understand it, the better your chances of getting indexed and getting a good spot in the rankings.
Yeah.
Like you're rolling out the red carpet, making Googlebot feel welcome to look around.
This reminds me of those websites where you get lost and there's broken links everywhere. It's so annoying.
I know it's the worst, and it's annoying for Googlebot too.
Oh, for sure.
Those are the types of things that can make Googlebot just leave your site without even looking around. The blog post talks about why Google might ignore a website completely. Things like slow loading times, blocked access, duplicate content. It's like you're speaking a different language.
So we need to learn how to speak Google.
Right, exactly.
Do they offer a course for that?
Well, this blog post is a good place to start. It has a really helpful list of things you can do to make your website easier to crawl,
Awesome.
like a Google language cheat sheet. And once you get the basics down, you can start trying out more advanced stuff, like optimizing your internal links and making sure your website looks good on phones.
I remember the blog post talked about how Google's algorithms are always changing too, so it's not enough to just learn it once.
Yeah, that's right. It's an ongoing process. You got to stay updated.
For sure.
The good news is Google gives you a lot of information to help you understand their guidelines, and there are blogs like this one too, with great advice and tips.
What happens when Googlebot does find your website and decides it's good enough to add to the index? Is that the end?
That's just the beginning, getting indexed. It's just getting your foot in the door. The real challenge is getting your site to stand out from billions of others out there, and that's where ranking comes in.
Okay, so ranking.
Yes, ranking.
Yep.
Right, so it's like you got your book on the library shelves, but now the question is, where on the shelves does it go?
Oh, okay.
That's where ranking comes in.
So Google is like the ultimate librarian deciding which books get the best spots and which ones are hidden in the back.
Exactly. And just like a librarian thinks about different things when organizing books, like genre popularity, who wrote it, Google's algorithms use tons of signals to figure out where your website should rank for certain searches.
This German blog post actually goes into some of those ranking factors.
Oh, cool.
One that I thought was really interesting was backlinks.
Ah, yes, backlinks. Those are so important. They're like votes of confidence from other websites.
Right.
When a good website links to yours, it's like telling Google, hey, this website has good stuff on it. And the more of those votes you get from trustworthy sites, the higher your website is likely to rank.
So it's like a popularity contest, but
Yeah.
instead of people voting, it's other websites.
It's a little more complicated than that, though.
Hmm.
Google's algorithms are really smart. They don't just look at how many backlinks you have, but also how good those backlinks are and if they're relevant to your site.
So a link from some random spammy site wouldn't be as good as a link from like a big news website.
Exactly. It's like getting a recommendation from a random person versus getting one from an expert.
Right. That makes
Yeah.
sense. But what about the content itself that has to be important for ranking too, right?
Oh, absolutely. Content is king when it comes to SEO. This German blog post really emphasizes that Google wants to see good quality original content that actually helps people.
And it's not just about keywords anymore, right?
No, it's not just about keywords anymore. It's about making content that people actually want to read and find useful. Google is getting better and better at figuring out what makes good content. Things like, is it detailed, original, clear, and do people actually spend time reading it?
Okay, so it's not enough to just get your website crawled and indexed. It's about making content so good that other websites want to link to it, people want to share it, and then Google will rank it higher.
It's about looking at SEO as a whole.
Mm-hmm.
You need to think about the technical stuff like we talked about before, like making sure your site is easy to crawl and loads quickly, but also the quality of your content and who's linking to you.
Wow, it's a lot, but it's also kind of exciting because it means even small websites can do well if they make really great content.
Absolutely. And that's what I like about this German blog post. It reminds us that SEO isn't about tricking the system. It's about making a website that actually helps people and deserves to be seen.
This whole conversation makes me think about Google. Like they're the gatekeepers of the internet.
Yeah.
They have to filter out all the junk
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
show us the best stuff.
That's a good point. Google has a lot of power in deciding what we see online and how we see it. That's why it's so important to understand how their algorithms work, especially if you want to make content that has an impact.
The blog post mentioned something else that caught my attention, the future of crawling and indexing with AI and voice search.
Oh, yeah, that's a really interesting topic. As technology changes, Google's algorithms will have to change too.
So what does that mean for people with websites? Do we need to start making our content for robots instead of humans?
Not really. The basics of SEO will always be important. Things like good content, a user-friendly experience, building trust and authority. But we do need to pay attention to new trends and change our strategies if we need to.
Like the post talked about how voice search is becoming more and more popular with things like smart speakers.
Right.
Does that mean we have to write our content differently?
Well, it's something to think about with voice search. People use more natural language and ask questions like they're talking to a person. So instead of focusing on just keywords, we might need to start using longer phrases that people would actually say.
So instead of trying to rank for a keyword like best running
Yeah.
shoes, we might try to rank for what are the best running shoes for marathon training?
Exactly. It's about understanding what questions people are asking and then answering them in a way that voice assistants can understand.
Do you think Googlebot is changing too? Will there be an AI version that can understand how humans talk and what we mean?
It's definitely possible AI is getting better at understanding language and context, so Google's crawlers are probably going to get more sophisticated too.
This is all really interesting, but it's also a little scary. It feels like the internet is getting so complicated that you need to be a computer scientist to get your website seen.
I get what you mean, but remember that SEO is really about connecting with people who are making content for humans, not robots.
Right.
So as long as we keep that in mind, we'll be able to adapt to whatever changes come our way.
That's good to hear. It's easy to get caught up in all the technical stuff and forget that it's really about connecting with people and giving them something valuable.
You're right. And this German blog post, even though it talks about some pretty technical details, never forgets that human element. It reminds us that SEO is about communication, connection, and making content that real people actually care about.
You know, it's funny, we've been talking about Googlebot like it's this all-powerful thing, but this blog post made me realize it's not perfect,
Yeah, you're right. Even with all the AI and stuff, Googlebot is still just a program.
right?
It can only understand what we tell it, and it needs us to make websites clear and organized so it can do its job.
The blog post had this analogy about a website being like a house.
Oh, yeah.
It said if you want Googlebot to see your whole house, you got to make sure all the doors are unlocked and the lights are on.
I like that it's a good way to think about it. You got to make it easy for Googlebot to move around your website.
Yeah.
Things like clear links, a good structure, and a sitemap, those are all important for helping Googlebot find all your content.
It makes me think about those websites that have like A million pop-ups and ads everywhere. It's
Uh,
like trying to walk through a house where every room has a trap in it.
exactly, and it's annoying for users too. Google wants to see websites that are easy and enjoyable to use, so if you have stuff that blocks the content, it's going to hurt your ranking.
Speaking of user experience, the blog post also talked about mobile optimization.
Right.
Apparently, Google really cares about how your website looks on phones now.
Yeah, it makes sense. More and more people are using their phones to browse the web, so Google wants to make sure those people are having a good experience.
So if your website looks great on a computer, but it's hard to use on a phone, that's a problem.
Definitely, your website needs to be responsive, meaning it should adjust to different screen sizes so it looks good on any device.
Okay.
And it's not just about how it looks, you also got to think about things like making the text big enough, using the right kind of images, and making sure it's easy to tap on things.
Wow, so there's a lot to think about with mobile optimization.
There is, but Google has this free tool that can check your website and tell you what you need to fix.
Oh, that's helpful.
And there are tons of resources online, too, with tips on how to make your website mobile friendly.
That's good to know. It seems like Google's really trying to help website owners keep up with all this stuff.
Yeah, they are. And that brings us back to what we were saying before about understanding how Google thinks.
Right.
Their algorithms are always changing, getting smarter and better at understanding websites' user behavior and the whole internet.
So it's not just about following the rules, it's about understanding why those rules exist and then changing our strategies as things change.
Exactly. It's all about learning and trying new things. The internet is always changing, so we have to change with it.
This deep dive has given me a lot to think about, and I'm definitely going to be making some changes to my website.
Good. I'm glad to hear it.
I think the main thing I've learned is that SEO is not something you do once and then forget about. It's something you have to keep working on.
Absolutely. You're always learning and experimenting and trying to improve.
Well, thank you so much for joining me on this deep dive into the world of crawling and ranking. I hope everyone listening feels like they can go out and make their websites better.
It was great to be here and share these ideas. Remember, SEO isn't about tricks or shortcuts. It's about building a website that people actually like and that deserves to be seen.
Until next time,
Mm.
happy optimizing, everyone.